Well, I believe in good vibrations is what creates a beautiful nation. All you need is the will to do right, do right, do right.
And we're live. Welcome to a brand new episode of Anecdotal Arguments. It's Anecdotally Merry New Year and Happy Christmas.
Yes.
Yeah, that was actually harder to say than I thought. And I just did that to my brother the other day. His birthday is Christmas Day, and I gave him a Merry Birthday and a Happy Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And we're live. I'm your host, Jay Fry, and with me, as usual, is Sean. How's it going, Sean?
It's Monday. We're here. Hope you had a good Christmas.
We are here. Mm-hmm. And Garrick?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, Christmas was good, Sean. Can't complain.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing worse than you coming in all fussy and broken is you're currently coming in clearly and loud as shit.
Oh, should I turn it down?
No,
somehow?
you're fine.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, yeah, it's just my ears. Everybody else.
We're just not used to hearing you quite so clearly.
Actually, you're pretty clear.
Yeah, this is a work laptop, so you get all the benefits.
I don't know if I would pay for a webcam for my workers. It just doesn't. Seems like some high school level antic shit to me.
Yeah, well, all the new laptops have it built in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'd pull his Zuckerberg and get that little slider sticky thing. So, how was everybody's Christmas?
Good. Hectic, but I mean, with 4 kids, that'll happen.
Yeah.
Well, I got a Newsboy hat as Secret Santa, and I fucking love it. I ended up buying 2 more.
Oh, what?
Newsboy.
What's that?
The sleek one, like the Kangol. I'll send you a picture later.
Okay.
But I liked it. Makes me look good. Not so pretty. So that was like the extent of it. Got the girlfriend earrings, but I put them in a set of really inappropriate nesting dolls. So she's not talking to me, which is fun.
Hey, the dislike button's back. What the hell?
Dislike button is a dislike button.
Yeah, I won't show you the totals, though.
So where the hell is everybody? Is somebody streaming right now?
Tim. But we're always up against Tim.
Yeah, I mean, technically less than there would be because a bunch of people are off for the holiday.
Yeah. Oh, that was the one wonderful thing about the holidays is that I am woefully ignorant of the news, if there's any at all.
There really isn't. Like the only thing that's happened in this week is the Kim Potter trial. And every woman in my life who followed even remotely agreed that she should have been convicted in pure annoyance. Yeah. Black Magic just came from a lefty stream. I don't even know what that means. Everyone's left to me when you're a far-right extremist. So what did you say when we first got started to Super Straight is what you're talking about. I've been watching Ariella
Scarcella, yeah.
Scarcella, whatever. And she's the same person she was as a leftist, now as a centrist, with her still shitty lefty talking points.
Yeah, she's a female Dave Rubin.
Yeah. But she's brought her lefty talking points to the center. And it's like, no, you're still not, like, you're still after victim points. And
No, she's, like I said, she's like Dave Rubin. She's somebody that got left behind from the left.
Mm-hmm. That's like, oh, you poor lesbians. Suck the feminine dick, bigot. And that's actually, I'm kind of like in camp with not so much her, but the LGB Alliance that's kicking up over in England.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going against the T's and the IAPs and all that.
Yeah,
Sweet.
it's like they try to make an argument, which is like the argument. And if anybody had seen The Matrix, it's their same argument. The trannies of yesteryear, the older ones, they used to be transvestites or the cross-dressers that have come out as feminine, are all about the binary. There is male, there is female. They're male, and they think they're female. They don't care about the genders. They think the genders are stupid because they understand that people they're trying to talk into being trannies are not trannies. They're tomboys, which means view themselves as female, but don't view themselves as feminine. And that's all part of the beauty that is whatever the fuck you want it to be. You can be a girly girl on the weekends and be a diesel mechanic on the weekdays, and you're still just as feminine as anyone else out there if you want to be.
Smoke.
Garrick used to come in clear. What, Garrick?
What?
What did you say?
Oh, I think he unpaused the video, I think.
Yeah. Ads.
Yeah. So yeah, they're that's actually a big part of the Matrix because the company they worked for was called Binary. Like, we get it, Wachowski, former Wachowski brother, you're now a girl. I understand. Yeah, wonderful.
Oh, did you? No, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, I didn't, and I won't.
Good for you.
It's 60% nostalgia. 40%.
Fuck that movie. Okay, I'm saving this for later.
Have you watched it?
Yes.
So you want to rant about it later?
Yes.
As in, like, when there's more people around?
We can do that. We can do that. We can put that off.
All right. So Ariel, whatever, is a lesbian, a proud lesbian, a very lesbian who lesbians in her lesbianness, but still has videos on, like, she looked at a trans vagina and then touched it. I'm like, suitable for YouTube? I'm not sure about that. But she had on a bisexual guy. Okay, Poet's here. We can start now.
Sweet.
Awesome.
So she had on a bisexual guy and a gay guy, and they talked about no, we're not monetized.
You wish. And besides, Jay wouldn't get the money. It would be Liberative here that would get the money.
Liberative would get the money if he had 925 extra motherfuckers on his subscription.
Yeah, and 4,000 hours a month. You need
What?
both now. You need both now. You need 1,000 subscribers, and then you need to have over 4,000 watch hours a month.
Oh, we would have that. If we would have that if we had 1,000 subscribers, because a quarter of them would watch the videos, and we've got like 4
No, you guys usually get what? Videos. Out of 75 subscribers, you get what? An average of 20 views overall?
15 to 25, yeah.
Yeah. So it's not nothing.
It's just our core 6 that are solid, loyal, awesome people. 4 of which aren't here today.
Are you fucking traveling, talking about family? Screw you guys.
Oh, did y'all hear what happened to Bunny? Speaking of loyal fans.
We saw what happened to Bunny.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
that poor girl.
I did that once when I watched My Stepmother Was an Alien, and I barely got like half a finger in the water before I pulled out.
Yeah. The closest I ever came to that was one time I grabbed a pot I did not realize was hot, and it was kind of bad.
Poet says Sean should make a Streamlabs account. You should full blown mad him for suggestions to your channel. just take a faithful and loyal viewer and destroy them live on air.
I probably should make a Streamlabs account, but I don't use slobs. I use the OG OBS, so
just stoppable, the unstoppable right now. Just go after him.
Yeah, I was fooling around with BitChute, and I still cannot for the life of me figure out why the videos no longer copy over to BitChute.
I never figured out how to do that when I have BitChute, but couldn't get them the link. Speaking of, you're gonna have to start leading the Zoom calls, by the way.
Why is that?
Because there's a key for the Zoom call to be put into a video file or a YouTube video.
That's what Discord's for.
Yeah, but Discord sucks.
Discord does suck. When I was on the Wednesday show for the time I hosted with Matt, it fucking sucked for me.
How long ago was that? I want to find that episode and rewatch it.
Yeah, well, it was absolutely terrible for me. But 3 years ago, maybe
4, maybe
4 for me. No, yeah, maybe 4.
I mean, it was what, late 2016 or 2017?
Sounds about right.
Oh yeah, 4 years ago, so 2017.
It's been a minute.
Back when I was talking to 200,000 motherfuckers. No, it was probably like 170 back then. They really haven't gone up in numbers.
Well, not on YouTube, but they're also on, all the podcast platforms. So that's
not Trovo.
Yeah, not Trovo.
Yeah, but that's not a podcast platform. That's I'm talking about like Apple and Spotify and shit like that.
I wonder what their numbers are over there. It'd be nice to see.
Yeah, but those don't go up till the day after, do they?
Right. Or no, they're up like within a half hour to an hour of the end of the show. Especially like the call-in shows. If he doesn't have to edit anything, yeah, they go up right away.
I got Rumble, and I've just got Matt and Tim over there. I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand to actually watch the RA the ragging man over there. It's like, fuck you, don't care.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start scaling back on all the people that I listen to because it's eating up way too much of my time.
Well, I'm the opposite. I'm looking for like 3 more people to watch to eat up more of my time.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
What's the matter? Neo's not doing it for you anymore?
Neo's not doing nothing for me.
Extremist.
Yeah, Neo hasn't done anything in a while.
He covered like 2 days of the Kim Potter trial, and I haven't heard anything from him since. I still see him on Facebook or Twitter. But,
but he doesn't seem to be streaming anything. I wonder if he got struck.
Yeah, like Crowder.
Maybe.
Crowder's the other one I have on Rumble, by the way.
Yeah, I don't really watch Crowder anymore, and if I do, it's on YouTube. I'm not gonna resub to Crowder. So.
Same.
He's kind of like just Sean Hannity to me. It's like I like what he says, but I hate how he says it, and I find him annoying to listen to or watch.
Black Magic says, serious question. How are you not permanently banned on Discord? I thought this was normal. I can answer this question for all of us. Sean's a fence sitter, so he doesn't say anything overly offensive. Garrick's a normie, so he doesn't get to be particularly offensive. And I am extreme far right and don't really go on to Discord enough to be banned anywhere.
What's a Discord?
Exactly. Look to your left. You'll see it along the fence line. Uh, did you hear? Okay, so
Oh yeah, he hasn't put out in 2 weeks.
in response to the "Let's Go Brandon" from the White House, because they're not serious people, one of the communication staffers that was not Jen Psaki said that for the most part, the White House isn't familiar with the "Let's Go Brandon" meme because they don't associate themselves with 8chan. I was like, I've never been on 8chan in my life.
No, and I can count on one hand the number of times I've visited 4chan. So
Yeah, I'm like, I don't do any of the chans. The closest I did was I retweeted a couple things from when they were hunting down Shia LaBeouf, the flag.
that was funny shit.
That was, but I need my autism sorted. That's where Matt
Well, they
comes in
did.
for me.
They did get the AOK sign listed as hate speech. So
Yeah, but I wasn't around sending that everywhere, or the "it's okay to be white." Manor's right though. Let's go
Hey,
fuck
Maynard.
Biden. Yeah.
No.
I mean, do what you
Oh,
want.
I do have a
I
little
am
bit.
not a
Did you
12-year-old
guys-
girl.
Did you guys
Hold on.
see that
I'm
Elon Musk
excited
got
about that.
interviewed by the Babylon Bee?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I think that was more of like a fangirling than anything else. What
Yeah,
are we
it
doing
was, but it
here?
was still fun.
Yeah, while I like the Babylon Bee, I don't like their podcasts.
Oh God, I can't.
I actually do like their podcast. I
Oh,
find
they're
them.
cringy as hell.
I know, it's my kind of shit.
Ugh.
Yeah.
For rather witty guys, they really come off as puds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes me think a lot of the stuff is like 10 times more autistic than we. Like somebody filters it down for us.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a big cringe fan, but when Matt goes through and sorts the cringe, I can deal with that level of cringe. Like, and I'm not a big fan of the drama either. So these drama channels going on about Jack Murphy.
Oh my
I
God!
don't
Speaking
know.
of which, I stumbled upon another one today that I didn't know until today that exists. It's
What?
the Simpcast.
Oh, I found that one out the other day, and I was
With
like,
Chrissy Mayer, and is it Chrissy Mayer?
yeah, Chrissy Mayer.
Yeah, and then
Steven brought me to her attention, so
and
that's fine.
Brittany something or other, and the
Venti.
yeah, Brittany Venti, that Star Wars
Really?
chick, and some other gal.
Oh shit! It was fuck. It'll come to me.
Yeah. Now it's fun to watch. Don't get me wrong. They need better cameras. They need higher resolution, but because they're all very pretty. But it's it's like watching YouTube The View.
Yeah.
It really is.
All right. Well, shit. All they're missing is fucking. What's the Aussie chick? God damn it,
Sydney
Watson, and if they could get Blonde on, man, they'd have a full fucking cast. They already have a full cast by the looks of it.
They don't need blonde. They have
Yeah, that other chick whose
Brittany
name we can't
Venti.
remember.
Yeah.
Well, no, Brittany Venti. Well, number one, she's a brunette, and yes, she's pretty. But my God, she's like the airheadedest, dumbest one of them all.
But she's the far right for the far right. She's the far out of the far right.
Yeah, well, she's kind of a bimbo.
They're all kind of bimbos. Fucking, I'm pretty sure Chrissy Mayer has a OnlyFans.
Oh, I bet you they all do. But I mean, and Chrissy Mayer, I've seen her on Friday Night Tights, and she's a chick, but I mean, she hangs. She can hang. I mean, she's all right. She does well. That Star Wars chick does surprisingly well as well. But the other two are just there to be eye candy, and that's plainly obvious.
Sip any harder, bro?
I could pull it up and tell you, but I really don't want to.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I watched them react to the Jack Murphy stuff, and they kind of did the same thing. They were like, they didn't call it out for what it was.
Negging.
Yeah, I mean, they all basically said, well, I would react just the way she did. I'm like, okay, that's because you're not paying attention and you're not following the storyline here. You're not following where it's coming from and what causes it. You're not analytical enough about this stuff. And then I was watching their response to the R.A. the Rugged Man thing, and they ended up with talking about what sign the dude is.
Oh my god, he is such a Pisces bitch. Nah, I have no idea.
That's funny you mentioned that because that's exactly what they said.
Pisces?
He's not, but that's what they said.
Well, Pisces are the bitches. That's
fuck yourself. I'm gonna pull up Jack Murphy. You fuck yourself.
Are you a
heartfelt?
Such a Pisces answer. Jesus.
Heartfelt.
Heartfelt. Fuck you. You're not gonna nag me, bitch. I got this shit right
here. Damn.
Yeah, it turns out he's an Aquarius.
Okay,
I give a fuck.
But Jay,
exactly. Like it fucking matters. But they did. They spent like 3 or 4 minutes on it.
But Jay, I have to agree with Black Magic here. You are the biggest fan of cringe because you have the worst taste in movies. Or you have the best taste in B movies. We'll give you that.
No, I actually have a terrible taste. It's hate watching. Some of it, and some of it there is some appreciation to it, but it's not. Some of it's embarrassing, but it's not. I don't feel.
It's Zia Anderson is the other chick.
I don't know who that is. But I'm scrolling through and I've got way too much Blair White shit on. Ariel Scarcella and Blair White, just far too much of this lesbian.
Well, that's because they're both friends. It's like if you Google Blair White, you get Jacqueline Glenn too, which is another.
Oh god, yeah. But yeah, I don't know how to explain it per se, but to me, I'm a dick. Like we can all agree, I'm a dick, but I'm also empathetic. So I understand that when I am giving shit to my friends, that it's a way to build a stronger skin upon that person. And it's a helpful thing. But when I'm just seeing somebody like Goblins 2 is arguably one of the worst movies out there, with some of the worst acting out there.
Oh, hang on. What was the name of that again? I got to write that down and make sure I watch it.
Dude, these are not suggestions. Like, I don't need your deathbed confession to end up with a still fuck you, Jay Fry, for Birdemic. Because these are not suggestions.
I'm a better man for have watched that crap.
I watched one called, all right, so it was called Arachnoquake, and it had Tracy Gold and Edward Furlong in it. Edward Furlong plays a Texan softball coach who happened to be in Louisiana for a game. And he didn't understand that was his character because at one point he uses a softball bat, which are the worst kind of bats to hit somebody with, softball. And he hits a spider with it. And he says, "Now that's how I make jambalaya." I'm like, "You're from Texas, asshole." like you're not a Cajun in this. You just are in Louisiana because of the tax credits. But Goblin 2, or no, sorry, it's Troll 2. It's about goblins, but they call them trolls because there was a troll movie, which was also about a goblin. Actually, Troll is a good movie, and it's with Michael Moriarty from Law and Order, and it takes place in an apartment building and trolls, which are actually goblins. Anyway, Troll 2 is so Nilbog is goblins spelled backwards. But there's this guy who says, "Oh my God, they're eating her, and then they're gonna eat me." I'm like, dear God, that's terrible. But it's his attempt at acting, which it is cringe, but it's not cringe on him. It's cringe on like an industry. So I don't feel I'm not settled with the same kind of empathetic guilt I would be for these people who are talking about their 72 genders. And a lot of the gender stuff I don't have a settled guilt with either, because I feel these people are doing it for attention rather than an honest, heartfelt opinion, and you're just wrong. Oh, Poet wants to fight. I see what's going on here. Fuck you, Poet.
Picking fights.
How are you going to say Sharknado 2 is better than Sharknado 4? No, you know what? Have you even heard of Sharknado 3? Oh, the two casts 5 and 6 put together, where they decide the fate. Okay, you know what? Actually, I did like Sharknado 2 better than Sharknado 1 because of the increased cameos
and camp.
I'll be honest with you, Poet. I might actually prefer watching all 5 Sharknadoes instead of rewatching that trash movie.
There's 6, but
well, okay,
I'm not gonna hold it against you too much. Actually, I like the start to 2, but the start to 3 is even better. No, the start to 2 is the best. No, okay, it starts at the White House. You're right with Mark Cuban being the okay, yeah, all right. Sharknado 2 might be one of the best ones with Mark McGrath and Vivica A. Fox for no fucking reason. Okay, yeah, all right. Sharknado 2 might be the best. Although Sharknado 6 did have Dolph Lundgren.
I've not watched any of the Sharknadoes in about 3 years. I should go back and watch them all again because they're all good.
Did either of you watch the new Witcher series or season?
Good, bad. I've not seen it yet.
Yeah, I watched it yesterday, as a matter of fact.
I finished it on Friday, I think. Damn, it was good.
I'd rather live in Traumaville than Hollywood. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was recently watching a Traumaville and I ended up turning it off. It was and it was only like the first 5 minutes, but it was a werewolf attacking at a like a makeout point, and there was just so much anti-gun stuff in the first 5 minutes. I'm like, man, go fuck yourself. You clearly don't want my money.
I got a California gun story if we want to go over news.
Sure.
Wait, are we gonna do news? I mean, I guess.
I got like 3 articles.
All right, but somebody remind me to go back and talk about Traumaville versus Sedaris Land, which is in Hawaii, by the way, if anybody was wondering.
I got 2 shooting stories for the week, actually.
No shit, though. Oh, that's right. The kid and the baby, or was that a different one?
That might be a different one. We might have 3 if you've got another one, but this one is...
I'm going to look it up real quick. Go ahead.
This one is out of California. A California man shot and killed his grandmother and his father's girlfriend as the family opened Christmas presents, authorities said.
Oh, okay, no, definitely not.
Fresno County Sheriff's deputies found the victims after responding to a call about gunshots at a home in Reedley about 1:45 p.m. on Saturday, Christmas Day. Police say they learned that the suspect, identified as 23-year-old Austin Alvarez, arrived at the home as Christmas gifts were being exchanged and opened fire, fatally striking Magdalena Alvarez, his 58-year-old grandmother, and Misa Rashid, his father's 39-year-old girlfriend. As Alvarez was leaving the house, he noticed his father was in a parked vehicle. The sheriff's office said Alvarez fired shots in his direction but did not strike him. He then left in a GMC pickup truck, according to the release. Other law enforcement agencies were alerted to look out for the truck. Officers tracked Alvarez down to Orange Cove, approximately 10 miles away from the house. Alvarez was booked into the Fresno County Jail on 2 charges of murder and 1 charge of attempted murder, with his bail set at $2.5 million. He remains in custody as of Monday, according to jail records. It is not immediately clear if Alvarez has a lawyer. The Fresno County...
the way you pronounced Alvarez the first time almost made me bust out laughing.
Alvarez?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, does he know what he's reading?
Well, I mean, it depends on if you're what sort of Latino you are. It could be Alvarez.
Dude, it's always Alvarez. I've never heard it pronounced any other way.
It can be Alvarez, but either way. The Fresno County Sheriff's Office said a motive hasn't been established and the investigation is ongoing. Police ask anyone with information about the case to contact Detective blah, 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 or Crime Stoppers. So there's a shooting in California where the gun laws were supposed to protect them. And it didn't.
Well, what else is new?
Yeah, there was is the second one the 14-year-old girl that was shot in the dressing room at the Burlington Coat Factory?
No.
Oh, LAPD.
Why don't you go ahead and give us that one, and then I'll go to the second one.
All right, hold on. I'll pull it up. A 14-year-old girl in a dressing room in a Burlington coat factory was fatally shot by LAPD. These devastating and tragic LAPD officer fatal shooting of a teenage girl in Burlington clothing store during a chaotic confrontation also left the suspect dead and another person injured. The teenager was in the store in North Hollywood trying to dress for a quinceañera. An LAPD source confirmed. Preliminary information released by the Los Angeles. Am I pronouncing the Los Angeles right, or is this offensive? 14-year-old girl was in the dressing room, and a couple of bullets went through the wall and got her.
Ugh. I don't like that.
Yeah, but this is so this is neither of the ones we're talking about, because I was talking about the shooting of like a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old.
Yeah, that's not what I have on this other one either.
Well, okay, I'm trying to find that one. Go on.
Yeah, this one is out of Tejas. A 14-year-old suspect arrested after Texas convenience store shooting that left 3 dead and 1 wounded. Garland Police Chief Jeff Bryan said the suspected shooter was arrested on a warrant Monday afternoon, but not charged yet in the slayings. A 14-year-old suspect in a Sunday night shooting that killed 3 teens and wounded another at a Texas convenience store was arrested on an outstanding warrant, authorities said. As of 30 minutes ago, we have made an arrest, someone that we suspect to be the shooter. He's a 14-year-old teenager, Garland Police Chief Jeff Bryan announced Monday afternoon during a news conference. Bryan later clarified that the suspect had not yet been charged with the slayings, but he was arrested on an outstanding warrant. His identity and the identities of the shooting victims were not released. Bryan said that the victims killed were between the ages of 14 and 16. A 15-year-old who worked at the store was wounded, Bryan said. All of the victims were Latino males, Bryan said. Police know 2 of the teens had walked into the convenience store together, but the 14-year-old victim was just there ordering food for his family, Bryan said. The shooting suspect used a .40 caliber pistol with an extended magazine. The suspect fired at least 20 rounds, Bryan said. We want to know why. We don't have an answer to why. We are trying to comprehend this, Bryan said. When it's kids, when it's 14 and 16-year-olds committing acts and the victims of acts, it's even harder for us to comprehend that. During the news conference, Bryan also said police were searching for a male person of interest. Officers responded to the scene in Garland, northeast of Dallas, just after 7:30 p.m. According to the police department in the suburban city, they found 4 males inside the store who had been shot. 3 were pronounced dead at the scene, while the 4th victim was taken to the hospital, Garland police said in a statement. Surveillance video retrieved from the store showed all 4 of those shot inside the shop. The video then showed a light-skinned male exit a white Dodge 4x4 pickup truck, open the front doors of the convenience store, and began firing, striking the victims. According to the statement, he could be seen getting back into the white truck on the passenger side before the truck took off, fleeing the scene at a high rate of speed.
Well, he's not old enough to drive.
Well, here, hang on. The suspect was last seen wearing a baseball hat, blue surgical face mask, and dark-colored athletic shorts. He was not wearing a shirt, according to the police. The investigation remains active, and detectives are still trying to determine what led to the shooting. Using Police said, urging anyone with information to call the Garland Police Department number or Garland Crime Stoppers. This is northeast of Dallas. It's December. And
your point being?
Dude, it was 71 here yesterday.
Okay. Now, I'm used to warm winters, but ain't nobody in Phoenix not wearing a shirt in December.
Yeah, it's in the 80s during the day over here. But I'm in Corpus, which is a little further south of Dallas, but still.
Yeah, it's warmer and humid down there. Dallas is up on the high plains, and I'm willing to bet it's probably pretty chilly.
Well, Ahmed Arbery was jogging without a shirt on in the month before Christmas.
Okay.
Dude, never Google child shot. Jesus Christ. I got a 3-year-old in Nebraska killed in Independence, Nebraska. A 7-year-old who was just driving with his mom in New Orleans. Just bullet hit the car, hit the kid. 6-year-old child and 2 adults shot in Orange County home on Christmas Eve. 3 days ago, stray bullet goes through an apartment in Cypress area.
I actually worry about stray bullets. We've got a county island, like, not even a quarter of a mile down the road here, that it could be fireworks or they could be gunshots, and it's, take your pick as to which is which, because I'm sure they're a little of both almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Sean, here's a reference for you. I'm looking at the 10-day forecast. For the most part, it looks like it starts out in the mid-50s and gets up to the 70s. So,
yeah, well, it's warmer there than it is here. What the hell?
Yeah, mm-hmm. It's suspiciously warm right now. I'm expecting a lot of rain this week.
Well, we just got a ton, so it is probably headed your way.
I mean, it's your rainy season, though.
No. Rainy season is July.
It's 63 right now.
Yeah, it's actually cold here.
Yeah, 10-day forecast. It's going to be 69 degrees on December 30th, 68 degrees New Year's Eve, 68 New Year's Day with 90% showers. That is 90% showers is... That is 100% showers for well over 60% of the day and 80% or 90% the rest of the day. So it... Let
me see what my 10-day says. Fucking ads.
88% humidity on January 1st. Oof. You know what I blame? Global warming.
Do you?
No.
I was going to say.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be rainy all week here. Doesn't get sunny until the 2nd. And temps are all in the low 50s.
My temps
for the
are
highs.
Years.
Yeah, for the highs. Our high temps are in the low 50s.
I'm going to have to bust out the old thing to keep rain off me. The good old thing to keep rain off me. Yeah, I suggest everybody check your weather for the next couple of days and dress accordingly. Get yourself a nice cardigan, maybe some thermals, and then put them on in February when it gets cold. Burning trees to stay alive for one more day. Yeah. I don't appreciate how close together the alcohol and the hatchet are.
It's just a
so we don't.
Axe.
No, that's a hatchet. Family axe is 2 bits, and fuck you. Just fuck you. Heartfelt Fuck you.
Damn.
Oh, it's gonna be a thing.
Oh, and the normies who don't visit 8chan won't understand.
God damn it, Mr. Kitty.
I know.
We're just gonna figure out more sincere ways to just cuss at each other. Like, I have 2 children. I'm gonna name my 3rd child Sean, and when he gets to be 18, I'm going to welcome him to the world and punch him in the face. And it'll all be for you.
No, Sean's the redheaded stepchild, which is actually appropriate given his name.
Ouch, man.
Yeah. At least pick on Josh. He's not here and redheaded.
What's he up to?
Scheduling shit to not be here for this reason.
Mm-hmm. He's smarter than me.
Yeah. He doesn't get a heartfelt fuck you because I got the Tremors box set for Christmas, so he's on my good list right now.
Uh-huh. He's good at ass kissery, apparently.
Fuck yeah. I haven't even it's still wrapped. Like, I opened it, but it's still in like the plastic wrap, and I'm like, oh. I don't... like between like the 3 services I have, I could watch like 6 of the 7, and the one that's missing is Bloodlines, which was some bullshit anyway. But
if they had any self-respect, they'd call it the Gummer Collection.
Yeah, and I was thinking, because they killed him off.
Bird Collection.
Sorry, spoiler alerts. That if they brought Kevin Bacon back or Fred Ward while he's still alive, I'd be like, no, it's too late. Fuck you. I already have my heart in this. Get out of here.
No, Black Magic, you got that backwards. You're missing 4 fingers, but you only have the one that matters.
Thumbs are not fingers, they're thumbs.
I'll disagree with you on that. Factual
Pointer finger,
obviously.
pointer finger, ring finger, middle finger, little finger or pinky finger, thumb. By the way, I was uncomfortably old when I found out that the little piggy that went to the market was not shopping.
I was very uncomfortably old when I found that out.
Like, I was like 13 or 14, and that was my second. My niece was getting the old, and this little piggy went to them. Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I was like 36.
Oh, I feel better.
Oof.
Yeah, that's how naive I had remained, apparently.
Well, I mean, but yeah, I was.
Shut the retard.
I was watching SpongeBob with one of my nieces and nephews, and I saw Patrick go home, and he just slammed himself underneath a rock. I'm like, Patrick lives under a rock. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either until you pointed it out to me. So
yeah, well, neither did my brother. He goes, "Oh, son of a bitch." But I got one better. It's my oldest nephew was born, and I was like, "Welcome to the world, small fry." And my dad goes, "Oh, damn it!" And he leaves the room. He goes to a courtesy phone in the hospital, and he calls his brother, and he goes, "You calling your kid small fry?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said the same thing. I didn't even realize the connection.
Jesus.
So we got small fry. My youngest nephew is half black, and he's chili fry. And I'm getting a lot of shit from the mom still. Like, hey, you're the one fucking white dudes. I mean, what do you want from me?
Yeah, at least it's not chitlin fry.
Yeah, like I didn't even call it greens. He's still in the family. Black magic is just, this has all been revolutionary to him, and he's just making shit up now. Like, oh, you guys didn't know that? I'm highbrow. Like, never mind the fact that I was like 60% sure I invented the I was today years old when this happened. But no one credits me with nothing.
Maybe you were. Maybe you just put it out there and then that it came back around.
Oh, you had made the comment about that was the first time you ever heard of it. I got collaboration here. Fuck everybody else. I invented that. You're welcome. Also, asshat. But
nah, I've been saying asshat since high school.
Yeah. I have. Oh, damn it! You're older than me.
Yeah.
Also, the debit card. But I didn't like email anybody or anything.
Well, it's like me. I'm pretty sure I invented the iPod, but that was back in 2000, and nobody gives me any credit.
Well, that's wholly different. I just made the suggestion. Why can't your checkbook be like your credit card? that was my invention. Like, I didn't actually like plug and play anything.
Oh, yeah. This is back in the Napster days. I was like, what would be great about these MP3s is if you could just like have a hard drive that you could plug headphones into and listen to them. That'd be great. So I fully invented the iPod.
My buddy's daughter, some makeup shop, she left this note on a card, and they gave her $30,000. This makeup shop has hand carts, and they've got like, they're two different colors, and one is if you want help, and the other one is if you want to be left the hell alone. And they gave her $30,000 towards her college education.
That is pretty brilliant.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, but there's a Brazilian restaurants have this. The all-you-can-eat Brazilian restaurants, like, stop offering me food. And she applied it to the makeup industry, and they gave her a fat fucking check.
Good for her.
I mean, it really tactically didn't like make any money, but it actually does, because it saves multiple times being approached by somebody who definitely doesn't want your help.
Right, and if you're what you're going to do is you're going to let those people shop unmolested. They'll continue to buy whatever they're going to buy, and then you can help upsell the people that want the help. And yeah, you lower your man hours, and you have happier customers. Totally a win-win.
Yeah, and she got $30,000 for it.
Good for her. I like that. Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't really go to places where they like come out and help you, like it's fucking Rodeo Drive or some shit. All right, so I'm not the biggest fan of Tromaville, but I do love me Hammer Studios with the Universal Monsters and the Andy Sedaris collection. I freaking love the Andy Sedaris collection.
What's in that?
Hard Ticket to Hawaii, Hard Hunted, Miami Connection or Dallas Connection, Savage Island 2, Day of the Warrior, Do or Die, Guns. It's there's a lot of Julie Strain or Julie Strain-esque women involved. So he's the father of Boobs, Bullets, and Babes.
Okay.
He directed in the early 80s. He directed like Sunday Football or some shit. And then he got his chance to direct a couple of films, and he made Hard Ticket to Hawaii, and he came up with like the Lethal Lady series, and It's like, we need you to go undercover as DEA drug enforcement agents.
So he's like a cocaine version of Roger Corman.
Strippers. You know, no. It's actually so much worse than Roger Corman. Like, or have you seen the Slumber Party trilogy?
Just the first one.
Okay. So the Slumber Party Massacre trilogy is it's like feminine outreach. All three of the Slumber Party Massacres, even though the third one wasn't supposed to be part of it, it still was linked in. Have directors who are female and writers who are female. And Roger Corman, are those the films Once Hawaii with the same two cars? No. Yeah, he Molokai Island. He loved Hawaii, so he ended up filming and using film. And he's a big fan of helicopters and planes and RC helicopters and planes. So the Molokai Express DEA agents and also a yacht called what was the yacht called? Anyways, yeah. So there's a yacht and the planes and the boobs and the explosions, just missiles attached to RC planes all the time. I fucking love those. Porno star in them? I don't know if anybody actually did hardcore porn. There plenty of softcore porn. Hard Ticket to Hawaii was the first one, and it had a bunch of Playmates. And then a couple more had then Playmates and then Hustler Girls. And after that, it was all Hustler stars because they had the big fake boobies. Not in everyone, but there was a large series with Molokai, like a twin engine, and then the Jeep. So yeah, that's the Andy Sedaris. Sudeikis is Jason Sudeikis. So the Slumber Party Massacre series, feminine writers, feminine directors, and it has the most explicit nudity out of anything that Corman did. And he once had a woman raped by a giant monster worm. But like, the women go about it much more clinically than the men do. Like, they try to like make up reasons and excuses for nudity. The women straight up are like, shower scene now. Okay, pan across. Everyone has their butts facing, and then they're going to wash their hair. Full frontal across the board. Pan, get all 6 women. Okay, good. It's just gratuitous nudity, like in your face nudity, hardcore. And then like later on, it'll be like, okay, it's a slumber party, so who's going to take their shirt off for the pillow fight? Okay, we need one more, ladies. Anybody want to? Okay, you two will be in bras. Okay, sexy bras. All right then. Okay.
That was my biggest critique of The Witcher season 2, is that there was not enough boobies.
Oh fuck! Oh shit! I just don't like Yennefer. You went from being a fucking clod. No, I think the girl who plays her is gorgeous.
In a way, just not in a Yennefer way.
Okay, I don't know what a Yennefer way is because I've only seen the Witcher. The TV show. I'm not Witcher savvy like you are. But she's pretty enough. But she went from being a fucking hunchback fuggo monster to having everything but one thing. And she was willing to give up everything for the one thing. And I'm like, you fucking suck. You're like the flattest character ever created. There was like a scene in the third Friday the 13th movie where the chick was just pregnant. That was like her one thing. Like, no, don't pass me the joint. We're pregnant, remember? It's like all she had going for her was the pregnant one. And it's like, she's got more dimensions than Yennefer. But is he with the girl now, the blonde girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, Siri.
Is he as in love with her as he is in like the interviews?
Hang on a sec.
Are you gonna look at an interview?
No, I'm trying to get my wife's phone logged onto her insurance.
Oh, good luck with that.
Why is this not working?
Henry Cavill must have been a fat kid or something, because his reaction to girls who have crushes on him is adorable. It's like, did you not always look like Henry Cavill? Because you are Henry Cavill, and you're a good-looking man.
Yeah, but it's just that stardom spreads him around. That's all.
It doesn't. He hides at home and plays video games.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So he's an introvert, and now that he's a star, people know who he is and that he exists.
He's a good-looking man. He should have been a star, or not? Like, should have been a star anyway. He should have been more popular anyway.
Just depends how.
I guess you have to leave the house to be famous.
I guess. Yeah. He's lucky like that, I guess.
I remember one of the division leader chick was walking topless on a treadmill while giving a briefing in the mission. No. She was in a leopard one-piece string leopard bikini at a board meeting. She wasn't giving a mission briefing. She was literally talking like to like the board members while she was ass pointed to the board members while giving the meeting. Yeah, that was Julie Strain. I love her.
All right. Sorry about that. So
Not
what
a
now?
Problem. Leopard string bikini board meeting?
No, you had a question about The Witcher.
Oh, if he's in love with, or not in love with, but he has this like this smirky smile towards the young girl Ciri. That is in like he blushes like every time she looks at him, and he has to be like cordial to her in like the interviews and stuff. But like, does any of that come through on the in Witcher 2?
No. They stayed. He's very stoic in the show.
Good.
Yeah.
He's being replaced by Matthew Bomer.
Yeah, I know.
Which is arguably another very fucking attractive man.
Well, and back when they said that Henry Cavill was going to be Geralt, I kind of had a problem with it because he's too pretty. So I think he did a fine job with it. I don't know this other guy from Adam. All I know is he's pretty much like a smaller clone of Henry Cavill.
Yes.
So
yes.
he also has the same problem. He's too pretty to be Geralt.
Like strong-jawed, handsome men, raven-haired, blue-eyed. That's
well, and the Witcher's got yellow eyes, so that doesn't help. And
the silver hair. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, the whole idea with Geralt is he's got unnaturally gray hair, and he's supposed to be young-ish. But I don't know. Both these guys are almost too young.
Isn't he like 70 though?
Who?
Geralt?
Yeah, Geralt's old I mean, he is, but his hair,
unnatural,
yes. And he's supposed to be scarred to hell. And I mean, you never really see Henry Cavill without his, especially in the second season, you don't see him without a shirt on. So, that really just kind of goes by the wayside. They don't scar up his face because, again, he's Henry Cavill, and they got to keep the women interested, and they got to keep him pretty. But, yeah, there's some critiques to be had, but overall, it's still pretty good.
Steve says Bomer looks like my man, so I approve. Yeah, Matt does have a strong jaw.
I don't know.
I don't think
I
the
think
hair
Bomer
doesn't
looks
look
exactly like a smaller Henry Cavill. So
yeah, like Henry Cavill, Matthew Bomer, and um, that fucking guy from Vampire Diaries. I can't think of his name, but
not the guy that was on Bones.
no, not David Boreanaz. Damon, whatever the fuck his name was. He's they're all like varying, like all right, like Police Academy 4 had like Hightower was like the strong man, and then Jones was like the ninja,
Yeah.
and then Tackleberry was like the tactical guy. That's what, like, it's three versions of the same person, all brunettes with blue eyes. Like there's like the small one is Damon, and he would be like the ninja, and then Henry Cavill is like the brute, and then like Matt Palmer would be like the tactical guy, because they're all just like, what the fuck's going on here? You're like, you guys are identical.
Yeah.
But that guy, Ian Summerfield was his name. Summerhoven. Ian. I don't know why Steven didn't chime in with the name. He knows who I'm talking about. He tried. He put on like 30 pounds of muscle, but it just got him a vampire series that is shit. Oh, Maynard knows what's up. He says he's ages slowly. He's not as slow as a sorceress. The albinism is a result of mutations from the shit they gave him as a kid to turn him into the Witcher. And he's like
the eyes
right?
changed to cat eyes, and that's part of the trial of the grasses. So yeah.
Yennefer's story arc takes place 100 years before series. Geralt's is like 50 years before series arc. Yeah, still fuck Yennefer with her. He's like the most likable witch of that whole coven thing, minus that red hair chick who.
Oh God, they miscast Triss. They miscast Triss so bad, and I don't want to besmirch the actress who's doing her best to do it. She's doing an adequate job. It's just that she's just so miscast. It's hard to get over.
Jack Reacher is a 6'5" ice blonde, blue-eyed behemoth. And he was rolled and they cast Tom Cruise to play him. I have no sympathy for you. I have no sympathy for you.
It won't go on. Something wrong with it?
I have a little sympathy for Hudson. But he still needs to live there.
I know.
Did you never do an instant edition?
Okay, so the chick that plays Yennefer has a very pretty face. But what's the problem?
She's not.
Like that?
She doesn't have the presence. She doesn't have the maturity to be the proper Yennefer.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, she is coming off as petulant, and it's all coming about that it really is a spoiled brat who is told she can't have one thing, and that's the one thing she wants. Basically, to be transformed into what she was, it took her ability to reproduce.
Mm-hmm.
And she got the looks that she wanted, and now she wants a baby, her own baby. And it's like, I'm sorry, you can't have everything, bitch.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the Triss. What's Triss supposed to look like?
Triss is supposed to be a ginger.
So a lot like the chick that's there, but paler.
Wait, so
No,
who?
I mean she's definitely, she needs to be.
Isn't Triss the ginger though?
Triss is supposed to be a ginger, yes.
Yeah, but Triss is the one who helped with the king who slept with his sister and had the monster, right?
It's been a minute since I watched the first season, so
She's a pale, curly-haired redhead, right?
She's supposed to be very pale and very fire red.
Okay, well, she's strawberry red.
Right. Well, and they fixed it in season 2 where her hair is actually red, but it's too long. It's just not right for the character. And like I
Well, I don't
said,
know if you've seen Titans or not, but Starfire is now black.
I know, and I mean, the forced diversity is a little much, but and it's 2021. What are you gonna do? But again, they've miscast these people. Like, yes, the chick that plays Yennefer is attractive, but she's not Yennefer attractive. She's just close.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she doesn't have the presence. She doesn't have the maturity to do it right. And Triss is, she's too big. I mean, I hate to, and this is not to disparage the actress. Like I said, the actress is doing the best she can with what she's got, and she's doing an adequate job. But it's hard for anybody that knows the story to really endure what they're putting forth.
Yeah. So, speaking of Reacher, there's a Reacher TV show coming out, and the new guy is 6'4", but it's not going to be anything like the books. Jack Reacher was a very quiet man who only spoke when he needed to and was very introverted. He's going to have to be a lot more introverted unless there's going to be like a fucking echoing monologue in his head. Yennefer looks close to Megan Fox in the game.
Kind of, except again, there's a poise and a maturity that's there that Megan Fox does not have either. There's a worldliness to Yennefer in the game that, yeah, while she may look like Megan Fox, it's a passing superficial resemblance. Like, there's more to playing a character than just looking the part.
Mm-hmm. Did anybody see the Queen? Was it a biography or whatever?
Which one?
With the Indian guy playing Freddie Mercury.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
I was just wondering how he did, because the looks were pretty close.
Yeah, but, from the screenshots I've seen, it is pretty close. So I mean, that's passable. I mean, it just depends on if he's got the flamboyance and the swagger, you know.
Like Joaquin Phoenix did an amazing job with Johnny Cash, like surprisingly good.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is not somebody I like, but I've got to respect that dude's ability to fucking act. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's almost scary. Yeah, he did a good job in that movie, Jay.
Stephen asks, what about Olivia Wilde? Just stop naming bitches, all right, Stephen? Calm down.
What, to play Yennefer?
No. Yeah. Again, these are tartlets that do not have the worldliness to be able to play the character right. And I hate to say this, but what you need is you need an actress like
Olivia Munn.
Not Olivia Munn.
Just like Olivia Munn.
No. Again, tartlet.
I'm not sure if you've seen Predators.
I hate to say this, but you need somebody like Glenn Close to pull off Yennefer.
But like a 20-year-old Glenn Close.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, like a 25.
20-year-old Glenn Close with a boob job.
Yeah. But you need that kind of presence, that kind of acting ability to really pull off Yennefer.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious to see, because Bader says the shittiest thing. He says, I'm offended they didn't have a cast an actor with AIDS to play Freddie Mercury. I'm kind of like, all right, so what happens when we put together the actual, like, the biography of what the fuck's his name now? From Hard Candy? Elliot Page?
Oh, is it
that right?
Page now?
Elliot Page?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm dead naming.
Well, I'm not, right? Yeah.
You're not.
It's
No.
Elliot Page.
It is now, yeah.
Yeah.
Elliot.
Ellie.
Which is actually kind of funny because that's still a girl's name.
Yeah, give or take. The only one I know of is from Scrubs, but sure.
Yeah.
But like to do her biopic, are they gonna post a tranny to do it, and then make her?
Why does this bitch need a fucking biopic? What has she done in her life?
I'm just saying, like RuPaul, somebody famous, but like, are they gonna cast a tranny and then force that tranny to detransition for the first quarter, half, 3/4, most likely, because that's how fucking origin stories work these days. All but the last 20 minutes for it to be about a female transitioning to a male. So do you cast a tranny and force them to go through that again, or do you cast a straight female character to play an 80% female character that then in the last 20%, where does the inclusion end?
What did they do for the Crying Game?
Never saw the Crying Game. Can we talk the Color of Night? Because I don't remember that actual answer. Pretty sure it was a girl. Was it a dude? Was it
no, it was
what's his nugget? Alyssa or Alexis Arquette?
No, it was who was the chick that Clint Eastwood put in the boxing ring? What was her name? I can't remember her name.
Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank, I believe, was also the one in the Crying Game, wasn't it?
No. Wait, no. I'm thinking 9.5 Weeks. Never mind. I've never seen the Crying Game. I'm gonna Google it right now, or not Google it, but IMDb it. Oh no, that's Jay Davidson.
Because the Crying Game is about a trap.
Yeah, that's a dude. I'm pretty sure that's fucking. Is that Raw from Stargate? That is Raw from Stargate. Let's look at this biography. Son of a Ghanaian father and English mother, left for England when 2.5. Jay left school at 16, alternately unemployed, odd jobs. No real acting experience when discovered casting associates wrap party for Derek Edward II. Working as a fashion designer. Cast to play Dill in The Crying Game, which became a sleeper hit. Shocked audiences worldwide. David Spade, Kurt Russell, blockbuster Stargate. Faye spent. He accompanied Kate Moss, British Fashion Awards.
I forgot that was David Spade.
Right? In
Stargate.
It's a good cast. Kurt Russell, David Spade.
Yeah, it is.
Let's look up trivia. Disliked the attention he received after The Crying Game. Hit reluctant to take a role as Rod in Stargate. Unexpected demand. Crying Game fashion assistant in London. Discovered in a bar. Father's Gondon. Stronger version of flying. Two sisters. Dean Devlin mentioned due to Jay's worry about the performance. Stargate, so added to portrayal Rod. Nothing about him being gay. What was Color of Night? Who was that? Was that a chick or a dude?
It was Grace Jones.
That's the wrong movie, or I'm thinking of the wrong movie.
No, I'm just fucking with you. Just given the time frame for that movie, which I think was what, late 80s?
Color of Night, or
yeah,
no, 94. Scott Bakula, Bruce Willis.
Really, was that late?
Yeah.
For some reason, my brain put that in like 87.
Oh, that was such a good cast. Brad Dourif, Lance Henriksen, Kevin J. O'Connor. That that one guy from Coming to America, Eric LaSalle. Yeah. I think Ruben Blades was in. Jane March played Rose. Yeah. That was a fucking fucked up movie. I didn't realize it was a dude, but the glasses and the hair and the makeup and stuff, it was so fidgety you couldn't really tell. Do what Felicity Huffman did for Transamerica, play a role and forget the parts the actors have. Yeah. Be funny if they cast their Transformer from Orange is the New Black and Rocky Horror. Well, I'm just saying, like, do you force a trans person to untrans for it, or do you say cast Patrick Swayze to Wong Fu it?
No, they're gonna make Elijah Wood do it.
I mean, it could work either way. Like,
Well, and the guy doesn't
I think
age,
that would be
so-
more likely. It would be a dude to do a chick than to have a chick fake being a dude, because in Elliot's heart, he is a man.
which makes Juno really, really weird.
Also, Hard Candy. Also, everything else that bitch has been in.
Yeah, but
Only except
all,
for
I think are really all that the if they do make a biopic for.
I'm just saying
Paige.
any tranny.
Well, no, if they do make it, I think the story needs to be how Hollywood fucks up your brain. Because I don't for a second think that that's honest.
Well, I mean, too long for the bitches. There's like two ways to look at it. There's what happened to Elliot Page, and then there's sadly what happened to Demi Lovato.
What about Rose
personally,
McGowan?
What about Rose McGowan though?
She's
She's
lost
just
her
a whore.
fucking mind too.
Well, then you got to go to Amanda Bynes, or Brittany, or fucking any other one of them. There's a thing that happens, and it happens. It's the horror role. You go from being a Disney star to either shaking your ass in a magazine cover or playing the role of a whore in a movie. And it's been happening for 30, 40 years, 35 years at least. Little House on the Prairie. Laura Ingalls. Laura? Yeah. Starred in a movie in the early 80s called Happy Birthday to Me, where she played a serial killer. She didn't actually play a serial killer, but she played a serial killer that she didn't actually play a serial killer. It was stupid. But that wasn't enough to break her out. So everyone since then has gone one step further, with the exception of like Danny Bonaducci, but even the boys do it with Leif Garrett in Cheerleaders Must Die or whatever it was. And they show their ass or their boobs, or they come out with an album that's just about fucking every dude on the planet. And they all do it.
Christina Aguilera?
Dirty? She's a skank.
She's not, but okay.
She skanked it up for those particular videos where she wore barely anything and shook her ass for the entire planet.
But I mean, she was not wearing much and shaking her ass as a Disney chick. Same with Britney.
No, they actually, and the same for Destiny's Child. They would bear like midriff in pants, or a low top long dress, or short shorts, and for some reason one fucking full sleeve. It was like this mathematical equation to like 61% of your body covered. But no, Britney was all about her midriff, and Christina was also. and the one sleeve fucking thing for some reason. But Christina went to mini skirt, bikini top, and like the most useless jacket on the planet is what she was shaking her ass in Dirty. And they've all done like see-through outfits too. Not Rose McGowan see-through, but Brittany had an outfit where it was just nylon and stars. But like Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus has definitely gone hoary.
It's interesting that that's the Disney chicks, though, because like the Nickelodeon chicks don't seem to do the same thing, although they have maybe even worse experiences while they're the Nickelodeon chicks, like Jeanette McCurdy and the chick who played Carly on iCarly, and
they just get their nudes leaked. Jeanette McCurdy got her nudes leaked. Carly got her nudes leaked, and the fappening.
Wait, Carly got her nudes leaked?
A couple.
I didn't know that.
Oh, hold on, I'll send you a folder. I mean,
Gee, buddy.
I had a thing for her. Those chubby cheeks, man.
But what's funny is that what were the other two that were on that Sam?
Who was Victoria Justice? Was that
Victoria Justice was
that Disney or Nickelodeon?
That Nickelodeon. But then there was the other chick that was from Victorious on Nickelodeon.
Ariana Grande?
No, not Ariana Grande. The other one, the one with
the goth chick.
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Yeah. So, like, both Ariana Grande and this other chick could really sing. Like, they were really good singers. But this other chick just never made it, and I gotta wonder why. Because as far as I was concerned, she was better looking than Ariana Grande. And, like, there's no reason her career shouldn't have taken off and eclipsed both Ariana Grande and the main chick whose name I just forgot.
I guarantee if you look it up, her mother was on set.
That might be the case. That might be the case.
Too bad Natalie Portman's mother being on set didn't preclude her after Leon or whatever that clusterfuck.
Yeah, but then you come down to the fact that Natalie Portman can't act.
Yeah. You ever seen Danielle Harris? I love Danielle Harris because she's a tiny little fire plug. But she's in it's called Hatchet 2. And her eyebrow is raised the entire movie as she's delivering lines in a southern accent that fades away constantly. I'm like, I love you, Danielle Harris, but fuck, man. You're terrible at this. Like, you played a moody teenager because you were a moody teenager, but acting, not your forte.
Yeah.
But you know who else can't act? Me. So I can't really talk too much shit. But I can deliver a fairly timely line. Melissa Joan Hart was topless? Oh, Maxim cover, so not naked. Okay. But yeah, they all go through a little whore phase to get out of being a teen and going into adulthood, which is like supposed to be a symbol for them. And it's just nasty. There's nothing nastier than being naked on a TV set or a movie set.
I don't know.
It's gotten a little better now in the last... Huh?
I said licking a donut's pretty nasty.
It's gotten better now in the last 10 years, but 20 years ago, like, if you were a hard makeout scene and you got naked on top of it, you were doing it like your back was on a block of ice. to keep you from getting an erection on the video. Like well-placed ice packs between your thighs or something. But yeah, it's not a good place to be, and it's full of scummy people. There are often times when I'm watching a bad horror movie, and it's like, why are you naked right now? 3 of your friends are missing, and you feel the need to take a bath. There was this movie about giant spiders. I cannot think of the name of it, but
Wild West.
no, that's one spider. God damn it, Thomas Brothers. They'll get there eventually. Just listen to Kevin Smith, who I hate.
I've always been a Kevin Smith fan, but I am much less so day by day these days.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like, what's your motivation for anyway? So in this particular one, this girl, she survives a plane crash, and they hole up in this hole in the wall. It's like a hunter's cabin, and she's like, "Oh, a bathtub, guys, put on some water so I can take a bath." It's like, real necessity there? No, not really. But then again, there's movies like Private Resort with Johnny Depp and Jonathan Silverman, and they literally roofie a chick and fuck her, and hide out in Leslie Easterbrook's room for her husband to leave. To just there's some dirtiness in Hollywood, and people think that's okay to show. It's not. It's disturbing and disgusting. Like, even at the time, like Porky's, sticking your dick through a hole so girls can see it. What the fuck is that about?
That movie was legendary when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. And I watched it, and I was like, hey, no. But like some things like in that movie happen in life, other things don't. Like sticking your tongue through a faucet hole, or anybody being okay with you peeking on the entire girls' shower team. I don't know if there's a shower team or bikini team that takes showers.
There isn't. There should be.
I was far too old when I realized
the Olympics with the girls' shower team.
When in Dumb and Dumber, when there was a bikini team, and I didn't know that wasn't a thing until like, bikini team, that really doesn't make sense, is there?
The Swedish bikini team became a thing in like the early 90s.
Milwaukee's best. I appreciate you for that alone, and not your beer.
Yeah, the beer's terrible.
But like when it's like gratuitous nudity, like a Andy Sedaris film, I get it, but like certain things don't make sense. Like a Friday the 13th, for the most part, the nudity makes sense. Horny teenagers getting out from the parents to fuck, or any of the National Lampoon college things. Maybe not dicking an apple pie like in American Pie, but high schoolers looking for sex, and the only thing they have as a measuring stick against it is pornography. That can make a terrible kind of sense, but it does. But Private Resort, good God, no.
Okay, can I shut on the Matrix now?
Yeah,
go
let's
ahead.
do it.
Sweet. Fuck this movie. Okay, so they open up.
Hold on a second. You're wrong. Continue.
How am I wrong?
Continue, and I'll butt in when I want to butt in.
Okay, so first off, they open up with. Excuse me, hold on. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're thinking about the movie. That's why.
I had to yawn. Fuck off.
Because you were thinking about the movie. Because it fucking was boring.
It wasn't boring. There was a lot of action, but
The replacement for bullet time was not the replacement for bullet time.
no, there was no replacement for bullet time. They just did bullet time, but stupid.
Yeah, like, no, this is dumb. This is not good.
Yeah. So, I mean, they open up with this. What is it? It's a fake reproduction of the Matrix, basically.
It was Neo doing a thing.
Right. So I don't really understand how that was supposed to work. He apparently made a new Morpheus because obviously the old one died. And it takes place 60 years in the future and things are different. But the thing that pisses me off is they walked away from the lore. Like, there was a lot of things about the first movie that were awesome. They really made it an artistic piece. They scrapped all of that for this movie. And the thing that made it worse was that they kept going back to it through like nostalgia cutbacks. And it just really fucking pissed me off the whole way through.
Well, you cannot. Okay, so yes, the original Matrix was a mind blowing movie experience, the likes that the world had not seen since the original Star Wars. There is no way to go back and revisit that in the modern times and do it any sort of justice, mostly because phones.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't do it anymore. It does not work anymore because
They were trying to create lightning in a bottle.
Right. Now, I have heard, because I'm not watching this piece of crap, but I have heard enough and seen enough spoilers that it seems to me, based on reports I've watched, the Wachowskis were basically under a gun.
No.
Hang on.
Lena Wachowski.
Okay.
It was not the Wachowski brothers, who are now sisters, but it was just Lena Wachowski.
Okay. Either way, they were under the gun because Universal was going to remake a Matrix movie no matter what.
Yes.
That's a terrible idea.
Yes. And the beginning of The Matrix was a fuck you to Warner Brothers, and they even called it out by name.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Now,
what The Matrix ended up being was a trans movie.
transitory?
No, a trans movie. A movie from the sister who, like, even the name of the company was binary. Self-referential to the Matrix itself. And they were saying binary, two. For a future, it takes two. A man and a woman. They're two. One part of a whole is only half. It takes two. And Trinity, being the other half of Neo's whole, to make him the one, needed the female to be with the male.
But then they really kind of played into the feminist movement.
No,
making
not
her
at all.
A new one, giving
No.
her power to.
Not making her the one, making her the other half of Neo's whole.
See, I'm with Steven on this. He called it.
Yes, it did. It did fuck up the Matrix as a franchise.
Well, no. But and here's the thing: they had a good idea at one point where they stepped away from the Oracle and what was the other guy, the architect?
Yes.
And they bring in the new guy who has a new approach. Cool idea. Don't do it in the Matrix. You do it with a Matrix idea, but you have to get away from it because it's a totally different thing.
But he was the woke and he lost. He cheated and he lost. His ideas are not right, therefore he lost. Ultimately leading to his destruction because he was wrong. It takes the one and the two parts to make it whole. It was all about the binary. and the dichotomy of male and female together to make a future.
Yeah,
it was
but
literally
then they
anti-woke.
fucked up because they, took 30 years ago or 20 years ago or 25 years ago or whatever it was, they named the chick Trinity, which screws up that entire narrative from jump.
There is a Trinity. The
It's
future
all...
is the Trinity. The Father, the Mother, and the child. You can't have a future without the child. And you can
Not
only
to
get to
mention
the
that all
child
of
through the
those-
mother and the father.
Not to mention that all of those things are quasi-biblical references.
Mm-hmm. Well, the one, obviously.
The One, Morpheus, Trinity, Nebuchadnezzar, all biblical references.
Mm-hmm. Well, fucking Dorcas is a biblical reference.
Mm-hmm.
So is Nimrod.
Not that Dorcas was, yeah. Yeah.
But
I
but the cool idea that he had thrown in there was stepping away from a logical order to things, which is what they tried to do, and going into controlling things through narrative, which is realistic. It's what's going on right now.
It's what the emotional programmer did and failed to do. A man and a woman fought through the manipulations and paired together for the future.
So you're saying this is an anti-woke movie?
It's an anti 37 genders movie. It's an anti creating your own narrative. There is only truth movie. Because Lena Wachowski, for all that, is an old school trans. She was a man. She decided she wasn't a man because everything in her body, even though it was a male body, was feminine. Two parts. You're either male or you're female. She wasn't male, so she was female. Hence the name of the company, Binary.
So was Lena the first trans or the second?
First. She was the first trans.
Okay, so she's probably the legitimate one. Is the other brother that's all screwy in the head?
Probably. I mean, they're both probably screwy in the head.
Well, probably. But I mean, as much shit as we give, people for being trans, it is a real thing for a very,
very small,
very small minority of the population. It is a real thing. It's just, how do you tell that from the people that are doing it because it's fashionable?
Yeah, there's just at some point in your developmental, there was far too much estrogen, and you didn't get a male brain, you got a female brain, and those things are broken because women are stupid. Love them to death, but stupid. Pregnancy is the worst thing you could possibly do to your body, and women are lining up to get that shit.
Well, it's their purpose, right?
Mm-hmm. Which makes them stupid. Not for nothing, but for 6 months, you've got something inside you using your liver as a pillow, and the last 2 months, a punching bag. And there are women who do that 20 times.
Average is like 2 to 3.
Absolutely, but there are 20 timers. The Duggins or Duggars,
There's
Mormon families. There's
those.
Yeah. It's a thing that happens.
Back to Matrix. What do you make of the bots getting away from agents, quote unquote?
We're talking about Morpheus, or are we talking about the
bad guys, the machines,
the like that butterfly thingy?
No. I'm talking about when they're in the Matrix. What you used to have was agents would take over your body and then would look like agents. Now they use bots, and they don't even change. Like their eyes turn black, and that's it.
Oh yeah, that was because they were using Neo and Trinity as the fuel source. They weren't farming 10,000 people. It was just those two, and everyone else was there to fill out the city. That's why there was only the two pods next to each other.
No, but there was a shit ton of pods outside of those two pods.
Yeah, but half of those weren't real people. That's why, or there was one part where a woman saw her husband get up and jump out the window to kamikaze into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
She was real. He wasn't.
Mm.
Otherwise, they both would have jumped out. Well, you didn't need a second bomb, you know. So there were people who were real. There were people who were bots. They were taking over the bots. That's why they didn't transform into agents. Yeah, pregnancy brain is a real thing. You can, yeah.
You're gonna ask my wife. She will, she will back that up 100%.
Yeah.
Hell, you can ask Blonde. She'll do the same.
I've literally watched a pregnant woman walk around with her keys in her hand, looking for her keys.
Dude, okay, I got to tell you this quick story. So she was craving Chick-fil-A. So I went out and got Chick-fil-A. She wanted chicken nuggets. When we got the chicken nuggets, I got back. I had ordered me something as well. I ate my fries on the way back. Well, she goes in, she pulls out her chicken nuggets and looks at the fries and sees they're not entirely full, which Chick-fil-A sometimes is guilty of not filling up the fries all the way. And she got mad at me saying I ate some of her fries. And then we went back and forth and did this thing. She had a guilty conscience. Anyway, as soon as we're done, she pulls out the fries and then she starts looking around for the chicken nuggets, which are in her hand, literally right there. It's in her face, in her hand, and still looks for them. I could not fucking stop laughing.
Dude, I used to show up to my friend's house with McDonald's chicken nuggets, Checkers fries, milkshake from Dairy Queen, and various other fried bullshits from White Castles. Even when she wasn't like hungry, and asking me to pick it up for her. And when I did, and I dropped it off to her because I went and got like a couple things myself, she'd be like, "This is the sweetest thing," and she'd just break down crying over it. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna go in a fucking hour when you're hungry and you want it. I'll give it to you now, and you could eat it over the course of the next 2 hours, and I don't have to hear shit from you." I was already in the car coming here anyway. But yeah, there's some weird stuff, and the pickles and the chocolate or whatever. There's a whole bunch of nonsense like that going around. It's whatever your body craves, I guess. Pregnancy brain is a fucking
deep
thing.
Fried Twinkie.
Yeah, never had that, but fried onion petals, not onion rings, was the big thing. The worst part was when I have to go and get Denny's mozzarella sticks. Like back in the 90s or the early 2000s when they didn't do carry-out orders per se. So I would go there and I'd get a Moons Over My Hammy, and then I would order them in a box, and they'd show up basically at the same time. I'd just put them in the box, I'd take off and do the rest of the food shopping. Also, another thing she really loved was cheddar baked biscuits from Red Lobster. Yeah. Almost, that's like a universal thing.
Yeah, it's because they're delicious.
Mm-hmm. But I will never understand these people in movies that find it so complicated with a pregnant woman. Like, no, easiest thing ever. Even after you have a brand new baby is the easiest thing in the world. Like, you got 6 months to get ready for some shit. Like, oh, what are you doing? Sleeping 22 hours a day? Oh, are you awake for 7 minutes? You want a tit? Yeah, you do. Like, you can stop it. You can get them to sleep for like 22 hours a day if every 4 hours you go in there and check a diaper. You can change them while they're sleeping. They don't even wake up for that shit. Then they fall asleep and you burp them while they're asleep, and they don't wake up because they're needing anything like that. It's the easiest thing in the world. Unfortunately, when you have a baby, it takes you from a level of preparedness down a notch, because they are 100% helpless.
About the neediest thing in the world.
No, not really, dude. They're super easy. It's a baby. Baby wakes up, it's crying. First thing you do, you go and you wash your hands. Then you go and you handle the baby. All of 5 minutes later, if unfortunately you need to bottle feed, but if it's not a bottle feed, it's just nuking breast milk into the baby, burping the baby, making sure the baby's clean. You set it down, and there's nothing to do for 4 more hours. I was playing some stupid video game. Oh, it was what the hell was it? Did you walk into the wall or the door?
The door was kind of open, and instead of pulling it open, he just pushed it all the way shut.
And ran into it. Fucking down. Little Big Planet. I was playing Little Big Planet for 4 hours, and this baby was just laying on my chest asleep.
Maynard, I've never heard that trick for rabbits. I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I unfortunately I had a Rottweiler that had 2 stillborns, and she tried to wake them up. They didn't wake up. She tried and she licked and she tore the pouch off and nothing. And between birthing like 3 and 5, she ate 4. Like, oh God, that's so bad. Because she wasn't going anywhere. She was giving birth. She wasn't going to move for the next 2 days. She was just going to breastfeed, feed the pups. And eventually, there was a runt that she discarded, but was living. And my mom was taking care of the runt and had like a heated water bottle and a blanket, and not a blanket, it was like a towel. And while my mom was in a shower, like 2 days later, Kimba got off of the feeding, went over to the table, climbed up onto the table. She'd never been on our table before. Took the runt and ripped its head off and ate the runt.
Oof!
Because it wasn't viable. And so she ate 3 of her 7 kids. She had 4 puppies, 4 living puppies. They were all massive fucking dogs. All in my neighborhood. They all knew each other. Like, what's up, bro? Yeah, well, that's funny. Iron deficiency from rabbits, since rabbits are... You could starve eating a rabbit. I can't imagine getting too much nutrient from eating a rabbit baby. But I don't have rabbits, so I've never fed a rabbit bacon.
What?
Maynard says feeding a rabbit that's had babies bacon will keep them from eating the babies.
Okay.
Actually, I read a story about a husband who suckled from his wife because she had a blockage and he got the blockage out. And I'm like, that's not a story. I've done that before. It's not the most mature thing that's ever been done, but I've done it for a friend before. I was like, oh, no, please don't make me suck on your titties.
Anything but that.
Yeah. It's like, sure, I'll help you out. It's like, so is this just lips, or do I use the teeth, or?
What's your preference, baby?
Like, yeah, just let me know what's going on here. Dogs get milk fever and have seizures. Giving them milk replacer and sugar helps. Didn't know that. Yeah, that was a sight to see. I was maybe 12 at the time, and it was horrifying to hear that the tearing off of a puppy's head and the crunching. God, oh. But fuck a circle of life. I've never once thought, why do hunters have to hunt when they could get their meat from the grocery store like everybody else? Because that's where meat comes from, the grocery store.
Yeah, because the world don't work that way, you dumbass.
Yeah.
What do you mean there's no meat factory?
I mean, there is.
Yeah, there's a meat factory, but it ain't what you think.
Oh, what was the movie I was watching? Oh, so Texas Chainsaw Massacre, whatever the one was with Jessica Biel. Jessica Biel's a vegan. And when she went through the factory with the hanging carcasses, it was a working slaughterhouse. So she was bumping up against entirely real slabs of meat. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of shitty. I only care because I very much a fan of Jessica Biel's hotness. Would have been funnier if it was Alexandria Daddario, because she started out at the beginning of the movie cutting up meat as a butcher. So that would have been really fucked up. Yeah. We kind of like let the dog pick like what she wanted. Like she ate a lot of carrots from us and broccoli from the table, which was always funny because my rat loved broccoli. So we would share broccoli. We did Brussels sprouts. She did get some milk, even though we were like, "Oh, not a fan of milk," but she would drink the milk. We didn't give her powder formula, but she did the milk thing. Didn't have any seizures or anything. Maybe she was so deficient it just went to her calcium deficiency. Couldn't tell you, don't know. I was 12. But there was like, pretty sure there was a couple times where I went to get a hot dog and we didn't have any hot dogs because we ended up just feeding them straight to the dog. Here's a hot dog. I had explained to somebody that this guy was making scrambled eggs, and it was a big thing of scrambled eggs. He was cracking the egg into the pan and then dropping in the shell. And they're like, "Ooh, don't make scrambled eggs like that." I'm like, "Those are going to probably a golden retriever." Like, I'm surprised there's not a couple of cut up hot dogs in that clusterfuck of scrambled egg. Because, to each their own. When one of my grandpa's dogs had too many puppies, she drowned some in a sack in the bathtub. That's pretty dexterous for a dog to... Male dog to... That's fucked up. That's I've seen 101 Dalmatians. That's pretty fucked up. I grew up in a suburb. There's no such thing as too many dogs. If we would have had 10 puppies, it would have taken 3 days going door to door, and we would have gotten rid of 10 puppies.
Yep.
And my rot puppies were pure rot. Like my pup, we bought that dog, fucking whatever certifications it had, but her sire, the male dog, was an abused rot, but he was pure rot too. You could just tell he was a rot. Had no secondary characteristics. They were just two pure rots. But we went door to door, and it was, you want a dog? Hey, you want a dog? And by the end of the day, it was like there was 7 or 8 of us kids together holding dogs, going door to door, because we'd end up going to like a friend's house. Like, you got puppies? And so like we started at 8 weeks, and they were gone by 9 weeks. Absolutely. And if you're not selling the dogs or anything like that, then I understand. And it's a farm, so it's a much different than being able to go door to door and within 5 blocks get rid of all these dogs. And I remember when I moved out, half a decade later, well, full decade later, seeing those dogs in the neighborhood and knowing that they were all part of my litter. Even when our pit bull had puppies, one went to my aunt. She still has him. He's 10 now. And then the neighbor moved away, but when the neighbor moved, took the dog with her.
As you're supposed to.
Fuck yeah.
I've got no time for people to give up dogs just because they're an inconvenience.
Yeah. Or just, there was no rehoming thing because, on occasion I'd be like, well, we'll come back if we didn't feel good about it. Or like if they didn't have like a fenced in yard and that was something else we'd do, we'd only knock on fenced in yards. I felt like a piece of shit when I was living in a trailer at the time, and we got a border collie, and we had to buy the border collie, which is one of the few times I bought a dog. I bought a pug and the border collie, and my mom bought the Rottweiler. But for the most part, we just go to the Humane Society and get an older dog that would be put down otherwise. And they're good dogs. The dogs have already been trained. For the most part, they meet everybody in the family. They like everybody in the family. The cats grew up with dogs, so they just had to get used to a new dog. If the dog didn't like the cats, then the cats would stay away from the dogs. It was a house. It was a large house, and they'd stay away from them. Wasn't a great, big, much of a deal. All the dogs, like very few of them, had to be crate trained. We got one dog. He was 6 when we got him. He was a giant black lab named Cassie, which was weird, but all right, whatever. And it wasn't a crate trained dog, but dogs are den animals. When they were introduced to a crate, they're like, this is the best thing ever. They'd go to the crate because it's a fucking awesome thing to have is your own spot. Nothing better than having your own spot.
Yeah, could you teach my dog that?
I see you there, have your own spot.
Cerberus translates to spot.
Really? No.
Yeah.
No way.
To spot. Because he kept an eye out. He was the guardian of the gates to Elysium.
Mm.
Still spot.
Hades, not Elysium.
No, he's Hades, guardian of Elysium. He didn't guard you from getting to Hades. He guarded
Hades was the god.
Yeah, he guarded the gates of Elysium.
Yeah. Actually, there was 3 places.
Well, yeah, the Fields of Punishment, Elysium, and
The
Tartarus.
River Styx.
No, that's just the river Styx is what separates the land of the living from the land of the dead.
Well,
There's actually the Styx, what was the one that they dumped? Leafy, the river Leafy. Yeah, they dumped fuck nuggets in the Leafy. Male dog, and he disappeared for weeks. And whatever, bitch. Yeah. When my mom got cancer and she was in hospice at our home, our female pit, or our female rot was protective, but our abused male rot was highly protective, and he snapped at a couple of hospice workers, and he became too protective and too enraged, and we ended up having to put him down. But the two cats, my cat which was a short-haired Himalayan, and my brother's cat, which was like a black cat, Shadow was his name, and my cat was named Frisky. And just to less complicate things and what was going on at our home, we took the rot and the two cats, and a family friend had a farm that they were staying on while my mom was sick with cancer, and the hospice workers were coming in and out, and all we had left was my pug Bugsme. And we put down Bear, the male abused Rottweiler. And to see the look on my friend's face when we'd talk about my stepdad taking my animals to live on a farm was mildly amusing to me, even though like we were all there when they put down Bear. He was a beloved family member who just got too ornery and couldn't be handled. And when he bit somebody, you have to put him down. There is no coming back from that. When you've crossed that line, you're now too much of an asshole. You can be a certain amount of asshole and you're not touching kids, you're fine. You touch kids, you need to be put down. For a dog, it's biting people. So Bear got put down and the other animals went to stay on a farm. My mom eventually passed away, and my brother and I had dealt with it, and we're like, I'm gonna go get my cat back. And we go to the farm to pick up our animals, and I don't know what steroids they were feeding my beautiful short-haired Himalayan. Google short-haired Himalayan cats. They're beautiful cats. The fucking mountain lion that my cat had turned into from eating the heartily fed rats that were on the property of this farm had turned them into like 25-pound small jaguars. And I don't know what this freaking rot had gotten into, but this rot had rippling muscle across his entire body. Like, this bitch must have been tying these animals to her sleigh in the winter and riding them across the countryside, because these animals were rippling with muscle. And it was pretty scary to see this. I'm like, you know what? I think that cat would kick my ass. I don't think I want him anymore. Enjoy your life on the farm, you scary fucking she-beast. They got big and mean.
They got mean?
Yeah. The black one robbed me.
Oh, I walked right into that one.
They did get big and mean though. Like, they were swatting at each other on a couple occasions. Like, they came up and they wanted to get rubs and stuff, and like, Jesus Christ, you fuckers are huge. Like, I'd never seen such a transformation in an animal. They were like Arnold Schwarzeneggers. Like, you pat this cat and it used to just be a fluffy cat. This cat was now rock solid. I mean, the cat still looked sort of like Fabio, but like just raging with steroids. Because the plants steroids, the rats ate the plants, the cats ate the rats, and I don't know what the fuck happened to the dog. I think they just injected steroids into the dog.
Well, the dog probably got to run all that it wanted to all the time.
Mm-hmm. And they were a pack. Like, the dog arrived, and then the cats arrived, like, right behind the dog. I was like, Frisky? Holy shit. Like, if I took this cat home, I'd have renamed it Frank. It would have fucked you up. I'm like, yeah, you're going to stay here. Like, just keep the deer population down. They eat the corn. My uncle shot one of my dogs for chasing you. Good Lord. We never did anything like that. Being in the suburbs, we went and paid for the euthanization.
Haven't had to put down a dog yet.
We put down several dogs. You know, we pick them up when they're 6 or 7, and that giant black lab was a good dog. But giant black labs are prone to hip dysplasia.
Mm-hmm.
And there was just too much suffering. Like, we built this fucking erector set cart for him, but you know, it got to be too much, because then the stress got put on his front paws, and he got front shoulder dysplasia, and you know, I don't want a dog to suffer just because I love it.
Right. We had a dog,
which is the opposite of women.
We had a dog pass last year, but he declined rapidly over about 2 months, and we just let him die here at the house.
All right, if it's that much, if it's that fast, and there's like no pain, but I unfortunately, I have, my pug bugs me. Had my brothers, idiot, irresponsible older brothers, they had bought donuts and they left them on the couch, and my pug, because it's a pug, it can't jump up on the counter or anything, but they left it on an end table, and he was on the couch, and he climbed over and he ate the donuts, and like half of them were either chocolate or chocolate filled.
Yeah.
And couldn't afford to go to a vet to get his stomach pumped, and I spent the day just laying with my dog with a newspaper, the things that protect the newspaper from getting rained on, like halfway up his backside in case he like shit himself. And you know, I told him how good of a boy he was, and you know, my mom let me stay home in the night, and then like right around the time that school let out, he farted the bag off himself. Like, his whole back half was in the bag, and he farted it off himself, and like was really needing to go outside. And I'm like, huh? So I guess Dunkin' Donuts doesn't use real chocolate. He just had a stomach ache. Fucking dog. I never had, my rats didn't have tumors, and we cut off the tails, but my rat Sadie, no, my rat Kimba had a colic at the tip of her tail, and it jutted out past like her smooth tail, and it was just this little colic, and unless she was sleeping, you couldn't cut that colic off, because she remembered getting her tail cut off at like 6 weeks old. And none of my rats had their ears clipped either. But I'll tell you what, I got a puppy pit bull, and it didn't have its tail clipped, and I understood why you clip a pit bull's tail, and it made me understand why you clip Rottweiler's tails too. It's nothing but cartilage, and it's a bitch. Beagles get bowel tumors? That sucks.
Better than having their faces eaten off by sand flies, but only just.
Fucking Fauci. I mean, beagles are, I mean, they're kind of useful dogs in a way. Like, but they're so food oriented. You could teach a beagle anything because they are so food oriented. You can't get them to go up and bite somebody, but anything short of that, like they love themselves some food. And we had to get rid of our border collie. Unfortunately, he was rehomed. He was rehomed rather easily because he was a great, big, beautiful, he wasn't big, but yeah, he was 40 pounds. But a beautiful dog and as smart as a whip. Unfortunately, he was so smart that he knew you would forgive him when he upset you. And I don't need a dog that smart. Well, did you have rots or pits? Because those are really the two with the full cartilage tails that end up breaking and getting cauliflower tails. And yeah, our pug had a stupid little curly tail like a piggy. Snore himself awake while he was sleeping. Snore himself awake while I was sleeping. Fucking dick of a dog. That's why it bugs me. Oh, I miss him. I'll never have another pug. I might get a black pug eventually because they are an awesome breed of useless. They're not technically useless because if you get a pug and then you get pits or bulldogs or not bulldogs, pits or rots or Dobermans, and they grow up with the pug being the leader, you will have the best guard dogs on the planet. Pugs will find a person before any of those other three breeds, and they will lead the pack to the person, and then the pack handles the dog or the person that's interrupting him. If you ever look at a junkyard, you'll see a small dog like a pug in the lead of massive pit bulls or bulldogs or Rottweilers or Dobes. It's a funny thing, but it's a real thing. There's a story in ancient China of it was a village that raised pugs and other dogs, and one day all the pugs started barking to the east, and for 3 days the pugs were barking to the east before they said there's something wrong with the dogs. And they slaughtered all the dogs, and then a day later they slaughtered all the pugs. Sorry, and then a day later the other dogs started barking to the east. And eventually they slaughtered those dogs. And 5 days from the time the pug started barking, the Huns come and raided the village. And the villagers were given a 5-day warning that something was on the horizon. Whoa, that's looking good. But Bomer's gonna beat with like the rippling fucking 6-pack.
Oh crap!
What?
YouTube's or well, OBS is doing that thing again where it's got no goddamn bit rate.
Oh well, let's get off here anyway. It's time.
Is it that time already?
Yeah, it's 11:13.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait for the stream to catch up a little bit. We cover everything we were going to cover?
More so, yeah.
So.
I think I told like 6 family fucking stories. I think we're good.
So don't watch The Matrix. Do watch Witcher Season 2. Still haven't seen Spider-Man, but I heard it's good.
Same.
Yeah.
All right, then. Say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Well, I believe in good vibrations is what creates a beautiful nation.